Oh, here we go. There we go, folks. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to us returning visitors, and welcome to you first-timers. This is Mike at Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement here in what has been a very nice sunny day in Sharpsburg, Georgia. Yep, and you can see, yep, Sally's sitting out in the yard still. She's not happy, but oh man, this has been a marathon, folks. It has been 1 week today that I have been working on this beast of a truck. Man, oh man, oh man. It's a Ram 3500 heavy duty Cummins turbo diesel, and I think it's pretty well loaded. And I just got through with the second coating of what we call DPC TMR. Hey, Miss Linda, put 2 coatings on here to give it maximum durability. It's an 8 to 10 year coating, especially with 2 coats on it, Miss Linda. The glass was also coated with a glass titanium coating. Both of these are titanium coatings. I even coated the metal parts, the chrome pieces, not the plastic, just the chrome. He doesn't want to change the appearance of any of this plastic. So I haven't applied any of this stuff to that because I think, as you can plainly see, Miss Linda, oh man, I'm so excited how this came out. I just beside myself, Miss Linda. That gloss and shine is insane. It looks almost showroom quality. We did a lot of buffing on here. A lot. Glass, paint, chrome, wheels, everything. But I had to limit the buffing because these newer vehicles, and this one only has 400 miles on it, Miss Linda, they don't have a heck of a lot of paint on them compared to, say, my 98 Mustang or one even 10 years ago. You know, those would have had 6 to 8 mils of paint or more. This one's down around, I believe it's 4. So you don't want to go too aggressive. There was some scratching and micro-marring in it, Miss Linda, in a few places, but that's almost unavoidable. But you don't want to take any more clear coat off of a vehicle than you absolutely have to. That's where most of your protection comes in. That's where your shine comes from, but it's also where your UV and UVB ray protection comes from. So you want to preserve as much clear coat as possible. But I just wanted to show everybody what 2 coats of this stuff looks like. Of course, it didn't look too bad when it got here because, like I say, it's only got 400 miles on it. But I wish the dealership had kept their hands off of it. It was days and days getting those tires back to natural rubber. Somebody had put some kind of crap on there. I don't know what it was. I like to have never got that off. But this side, this gloss and shine is just crazy, Miss Linda. It's just absolutely crazy. And I tested it a few times, but I couldn't get it to show up on camera. I'd stand in front of the part that was done, then I'd move over to the part that wasn't done, and I could definitely tell a difference in the reflectivity of the paint where it had been coated. But with these 2 coats on here, this vehicle will be much easier to maintain. I have this on my car, and most of the time, Miss Linda, all I do is hose it off or power wash it off and dry it. That's it. And you can see I still got some tape to get off, and I will put the tape back on because I did not want to get this coating on any of this trim or anything like that, because once you get it on there, it can be tough to get it off. There is no chemical that I know of, Miss Linda, that will remove this coating. Nothing. If you want it off, you have to buff it off. And I had all this taped up because he was very particular, Mr. Mike. He's a local attorney, Miss Linda. He did not want this stuff shiny at all. Did not want to change the appearance of this or any other of the matte finish things. So I had to be very particular about that. I didn't change the look of these. They may change a little bit because my plan is I'm going to put some titanium sealant on some of this stuff. And once this coating gets relatively cured, I am going to put on top of this a product called Kingsguard Top Coat. It is specifically designed to go on top of coatings like this to help protect them and add to the longevity. A lot of times I'll put a titanium sealant, but that's when I only do one coat. Because I did 2 coats on here, that's a waste of time. We've already got an additional layer of protection, and this top coat will give it a little bit more shine and also add another level of protection to this paint and make it very easy to maintain. That stuff is not expensive. It's very easy to apply, but you have to order it. You cannot buy it on the retail level. Oh boy, I'm really happy with this. I just wanted to update everybody right quick. I'm not sure if I'll do another video on this truck or not. I gotta get up there and put the top coat on that roof. Ooh, coating that roof, man. And this hood was very difficult, even on my raised platform, which you can see I have right there. I've got it extended all the way up. It's as high as it'll go, because even for me, I'm about 6 foot. It's a long reach over to the middle of the hood, and it's a long reach over to the middle of the roof. Plus the roof's got those little, you know, I don't know what you call them, but I call them character troughs or whatever you want to call it, which makes it a little difficult to buff and a little difficult to coat. But this is pretty clean, nice looking, brand new truck at this point. I may put a little more coating on the tires because I'm not quite happy with them yet. I'll remove all the tape, remove any residue from the tape that might be there. A little bit of that paint prep will take that tape residue right off, not a big deal. So I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to put a little bit of sealant on this to help protect it because they get hammered really bad. And then I'll put the license plate back on. I took it off before I washed it. Oh, and Miss Linda, there was also a dealer decal down here below this Laramie. He wanted that removed, which I did. Not too terribly difficult, especially on a new vehicle like this one. Now, if you get a vehicle where they've been on there for years and years, been baked on by the sun, so forth and so on, they can be a little bit unwieldy, and you have to use sometimes what's called a 3M rubber wheel to remove them. But this one was relatively simple. I used a hair dryer, and you know, they're just vinyl. They peeled off fairly easily, and then a little 3M adhesive remover took the glue off. Then I polished it up. Of course, I did that before I polished the tailgate. Oh man, oh man. I made a kind of a dilemma what to put on here because he doesn't want this shiny, and just about anything I put on it's going to add some kind of gloss to it. So I may just let him decide if he wants to put something on there himself, because if you change this, then it won't match that. I think maybe his reasoning there. Of course, this is already fairly glossy, this step on the step bumper back here, so I don't think a little titanium sealant's going to change it dramatically, but it will protect it. And that stuff down low, down there, Miss Linda. So I still got a little bit of work to do. Yep, I even got my brushes out, my bottle brushes and detail brushes, and cleaned the trailer hitch. I don't know of any detailer that does that. There may be some out there. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now and get back to work. And then I'll have to see if he'll be able to pick this thing up this evening, or if maybe he might want to wait till in the morning to do it on his way to work or something like that. Because this really should cure about 6 hours before it gets wet. Now, if he's going to take it straight home and put it in a garage, that's okay. But if he's going to park it outside in the dew, I'm not sure I would recommend that. You know, it's one of those things, they recommend 6 hours just out of an abundance of caution, I think, when I think it's probably closer to 4 hours. And I've set my stopwatch, so I'll know when the 4 hours is up. Now I want to get up into bed here and spiff up that back window a little bit. I saw some little bit of residue earlier from the coating I put on there. It's not a big deal. Take a couple minutes. Anyway, I'm going to get back to it. Thanks for dropping by, Miss Linda. Oh boy, I made a mess. And I bet you, and when you apply this coating, you use what they call a Suede Applicator, which is about that big on a foam block. It's a couple inches wide, maybe 4 inches long, and you literally dab the coating on there and you lightly apply it to the paint, Miss Linda, this wide at a time. And you can imagine, and you can only do maybe a 1 foot square at a time. You apply it, and then you literally have to stay there and wait for it to what they call flash, which it starts to get little bubbles in it. And when that happens, then you take a medium pile microfiber, what we call a wipe-off towel, and you buff it till it shines. And then you move on to the next section. It usually takes about, in this kind of weather, about 40 seconds for it to flash and be ready to be buffed off, which takes you a little while, a minute or two. But then you start multiplying that times each little area. And I probably used 20 different wipe-off towels, because once they get a little wet with that TMR or any other coating on it, I like to toss them in the washing machine, let them soak, and then grab me a fresh one. Because trying to wipe this coating down and get rid of the streaks and high spots with a damp towel is damn near impossible. So you can take that and multiply it times all this square footage on this truck, and just applying the coating, you can see what takes so long. And then there's the roof too. It's not something that can be done quickly on a truck this size. Go all the way around the truck, you do the math. Hey, Mr. Mike, she's coated, Mr. Mike, 2 coats, TMR. So you do the math, go all the way around the truck, then you have to wait 1 hour before you can start with the second coat. And then it's the same exercise all over again, putting the coating on with an applicator about that big on about a 1x1 area. Is about as big as you want to get, because that stuff flashes pretty quickly. Like I said, about 40 seconds, and then you buff it off, and then you move on to the next section. Repeat. I coated all this stuff, Mike, but not in here, because you kind of like that matte, I think you said, on the matte finishes. So I didn't put it on any of the matte. Coated the chrome parts, Mr. Mike. Oh yeah. Long reach up there on that roof, I'm here to tell you. Even with my platform raised all the way up. Ooh, boy, oh boy, oh boy. And I'm gonna get off of here. I still want to put some Kingsguard on the top of this, Mr. Mike, as an additional level of protection. A lot of times I'll put the TR8 over it, but since I put 2 coats of TMR on here, that would be a waste of time. And I'm gonna put a product called Kingsguard It's a specifically designed top coat to go over the top of coatings and protectants. Provide you some additional longevity, a little bit of additional shine, although Mr. Mike, I'm not sure it can get any shinier than it is right now. I mean, I'm ecstatic with this. I mean, this is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I have gone all the way around the truck at this point, Mr. Mike, with my inspection light, because sometimes these coatings you'll get a streak or what we call a high spot, and you have to go back to that. And you know, sometimes as they cure, they will show up. If they do, you just holler at me. That's easy enough to take care of. But really, for this to fully cure, Mike, will take about a week. But I mean, after 6 hours, you're fine. But I wouldn't wash it for a week if you can help it. And there again, I think they say a week just because they're being overly cautious. I washed mine, I don't know, like 3 days later, and it was fine. It was fine. But anyway, I appreciate you folks. I'm going to get back to it here and try to get this beast actually finished up. Like, tag, share, follow, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever you feel free to do, feel like you can or should do. I would appreciate it. Thank y'all very much. Goodbye now.